Good evening.
No,
Right now, we're live. We're live. We're already live. We're live. Hi,
we
everybody.
can't
We're
be
live.
No.
Good evening. Good evening, and welcome to the Heikadelic Show. We would like to take this moment to let you know that viewer and listener discretion is strongly advised. So sit back, have yourself a nice cool drink or hot drink, and enjoy the show. And welcome once again to the Heikadelic Show.
Hey, this is Spiffy Vengeance, and I'm reporting for the Heikadelic Show. In behind me, you can see the world's going on as we speak. It's amazing. It's a light show. It's over the Pickering Darlington nuke plant, but we're not sure what's going on. We think it's aliens, because if you watch, we've been watching this for almost an hour now, and the light show is incredible. What we thought was just a storm appears to be possibly alien invading the Durham region. This is Stiffy Vengeance, and I am going to try and stay awake and watch the show behind me, and hopefully I won't get probed. See you on the Heikadelic Show Monday night.
Wow.
Whoa!
There we go.
Holy! So, like I was saying before, when the guy came across the moose,
Yes.
it didn't fall over. So, welcome to the Heikadelic Show.
Yes.
Fucking the-
Welcome.
Howdy.
Heiko, you're looking a little different today.
Yeah. Heiko's been replaced.
What is FUM?
Oh, it was three letters that were on Jerry Garcia's shirt in an interview he did back in '74. So
Okay, so that was the year I was born. So what did it mean?
So obviously, Lee, you weren't watching the show then.
I think it was like fee fi fo fum, just fum.
Oh, fun.
Oh,
Great man words.
Or
all
maybe
right.
fucked up, man. I don't know. Fucked up, man. Fucked
Hey,
up.
maybe that would be good. Fucked up, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. So,
Yeah.
Hey, Rob. So tell
Hey.
us about yourself. Let's meet Rob.
All right.
Well,
Well, how you doing? I'm Rob LaFramboise, live from Brewington. Thanks for inviting me, Derek. And,
no problem. From Ghost
Sad-
Town.
Yeah. And it's an honor to be on here again. From the beginning. I've never watched the show from the beginning. So
Yeah. Well, this time you just partaken right from the beginning. The beginning.
Hey,
Uh,
speaking of ghosts, Rob, looked like there was one kind of wafting across your kitchen there. There you go.
Oh,
that one. The tobacco ghost. Yeah.
It's a split ghost.
It's a good old Oakdale ghost. Yeah.
Ghost.
No, I spent 9 hours on the road today, going down to London and back. So
oh,
What are you doing out in London? Working?
yeah, just a service call. It
Cool.
was good.
just a service call. Oh my God, that's gotta suck. Although that's not too bad if you just go to London and back for one service call.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
No, that's really
The
So
road
what kind of work do you do, Rob?
water treatment, commercial water treatment mostly.
Commercial.
So yeah, a lot of car washes, hospitals, schools. We're building a couple Tim Hortons right now for water treatment and stuff. So
Nice.
yeah, it's a good job.
Wow.
But,
So how did you get into water treatment?
I decided to get out of milk. I
From milk to water.
yeah, I moved up here in '97, and I was a milkman for Becker's Dairy, and they shut down. And a guy came and put a water softener in my house, and I watched him struggle for about 3 hours to do the most horrible soldering I'd ever seen. And I said, "Are you guys hiring?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, man, we'd love another guy." And he goes, "You got experience?" I said, "Nope." And he said, "Oh, come on up and apply." So I went and applied. So that was 25 years ago. Holy shit.
Oh, nice.
24. Yeah.
So half a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
Do you get into big like RO skids and stuff like that, or is it just?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we do them all. Do everything.
So you do boiler treatment and all that other fun stuff.
Yeah, like we do the pre-treatment.
Yeah.
There's a couple other companies that contract us. They do the boiler treatment and stuff. We just do the pre-treatment for them.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I might know something about that business.
You know how you can tell. Hey.
So you have ghost stories for us, or was that Derek just kind of pulling our wire?
Oh,
I don't know anything about ghost stories. Maybe Rob does have ghost stories. Rob lives in a ghost town.
I will say something. I was just in Mexico, right? And I've got the Mayan calendar. You can't really see it, but
Aztec calendar.
Yeah. It was pretty awesome. A bit profound, in fact. A lot of
Did you go to cenotes and everything?
Well, yeah, we did. We actually swam in one, and it was pretty cool.
Didn't that end in 2012?
Did it what?
The Mayan calendar, didn't it end in 2012?
Yeah, but your every calendar stops and starts again, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly. They still sell them for $12 or whatever. But yeah, it was pretty cool. But the Mayan ruins, which you can't really, you can walk around. There's kind of a border, but you're fairly close. But all of the ruins are kind of overtaken by iguanas now, which is pretty awesome because you're hearing the story about all of these sort of royalty that lived there, and the Mayan culture itself is pretty interesting. In fact, they claim that the guide was actually Mayan. He said that the Mayans had disappeared, blah blah blah, but actually they moved to the interior, and there were tribes of Mayans. So the way you tell a Mayan from a regular sort of somebody from Mexican, is that they have much higher cheekbones, they have almond eyes, and I don't know what the rest was, but then of course you start looking at people, and there is a little bit of a difference, right? The features
there 100% is. I've seen the difference. So it's like when you get, say, a white guy mixing with somebody from, say, Africa.
Yep.
They're gonna look different than somebody who is from Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Where Sri Lankans got like straight hair, and you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
the different features. So if you get, as I said, you get a white girl and a Sri Lankan guy, their child could be really.
You kind of lost me on all the mixed. But the it was something I hadn't realized but you do see images of Mayan Mayan people, and it's pretty cool. I mean, they have a lot of rituals. There's a lot of they really believe in they were one of the first, I guess, that had really valid star charts, all of that stuff. So they take energy from the light from above, right? So they're all about the sun creating energy, charging, and this is why in Mexico it doesn't rain a whole lot. So
well, how about let's go past Mexico. Let's go like back to pyramids. because the Aztec pyramids and Aztec culture is worldwide, right? It's everywhere.
Yeah.
You see the temples, you see the carvings, you see like they all have the same, and geographically, the way we know it right now, there's features on Mexican, Aztec, the ruins that would be mainly from people from Africa right now, right? That aren't known to be there, right? Did you go on some of the tours and stuff? Like, did you?
Yeah, went to Tulum. The famous spot.
Yeah.
Is
Oh no,
Chichen
I love
Itza.
Tulum. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
you got to see the arena and stuff.
Well, so we're at the smaller ruins, and that's in Tulum. But yeah, very, very impressive, right? I mean, the best part for me was actually standing over where the ruins are, but overlooking the ocean. Just awesome view. Like, it was the bluest water and most inviting I've ever seen. Like, just amazing. But again, and the iguanas, I was kind of fixated on them
Everywhere.
Yeah, they're all over the ruins, and pretty cool.
Chichen Itza is the other one, right? That's the one that's in the rainforest.
The big one that's more of a the kind of squared off pyramid, right?
Yeah.
Because
cool. I got to climb that one. I don't know if you still can, but
no,
you
can't. They closed that down. No, you can't climb it anymore.
That sucks. But what a beautiful view, and it's not for the faint of heart to walk that.
No, it's definitely not. Like, even the smaller one in Tulum, it's a bit of a hike, but I think the toughest part is dealing with the heat. I mean, it was scorching hot.
It's a pretty steep pitch.
Yeah, you need to be high for that one, I think. And that's the drawback for Mexico. I mean, nothing's legal there. I guess you can get anything you want from a cabbie out there, but
but how much history is there that is still underground? Like, I don't know. When I was there, the guide that we had, he was like, "See that mound over there?" And I'm like, "Yes." And I'm like, he's like, "That's another pyramid or something."
Yeah.
And I'm like, why don't these fucking guys who are running this place throw some money into excavating this, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, because everything's good the way they have it right now.
Yeah. There's like in the beach, for instance.
If you're one of these organized groups that are run like, say, in the Sinaloa area or something like that,
right?
Why wouldn't you clean some of your money by excavating?
Yeah.
Hey, we'll throw a bunch of money into our government and then make more tourism and make.
Yeah, I mean, you hear all kinds of stories out there, but yeah, I suppose you definitely gotta be cautious out there. A lot of those organizations own properties. They own vacation properties and stuff like that. So,
border town properties.
Yeah, a lot of it's gone mainstream, right? So, but I would say that 100% of the trip was awesome. I got no complaints. The resort was awesome. The staff was amazing. The people were just great in general.
100%.
The guides were great.
Is that on the Pacific side or on the Caribbean side where you were?
On the Caribbean side, yeah.
You're on the Caribbean. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it was just amazing. Yeah, Yucatan. So I mean, you could see Cozumel from from across the bay, kind of thing. So it was really cool.
And how are they doing over there as a people wise, like, you know how like when you go to Toronto or you go to Ottawa or anything like that, right now it's pretty fucking gross.
Well,
Well,
I
it
would
is like
say
with just
that,
homelessness and
yeah, I mean, once you get into the when you go on the tours, you get to see a lot.
yep.
In fact, a lot of the tour buses will go off to these offshoot places that, you know, they've got deals set up for restaurants. So you'll virtually drive through a lot of we'd call them like almost slum areas, and then to a really nice restaurant all of a sudden, right? So
Yeah. Yeah, I remember we did that. I can't remember if it was Mexico. It might have been Mexico. But we did that too. We went off to like a slummy area, and then all of a sudden it's like, here, go through my grandma's living room upstairs, and it's like a full kitchen and whole new dining experience.
oh yeah, the rooms are just
Chicken right from the backyard.
yeah. When you're on a resort though,
Fresh,
there
man,
it's
fresh.
yeah, it's pretty cool. And I was concerned about, okay, for drinks and stuff like that, like if you you know, what about the water, right? What about the ice and all of that? But if they used bottled for anything that's drinkable. The ice has a you know, its own separate water source that's obviously hiring a company like Rob's with to treat the water. And so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
yeah.
I saw a few water treatment places when I was down in Mexico.
Oh
I was
yeah,
actually surprised, but yeah.
yeah, they're right on the resorts have them, and that's
Yeah.
how they make
Well,
their
you
ice.
got to be careful. If they get a bad name, then people don't go back, right? But
Well, that's just it, right? Like, you know, people are like, "Hey, should I chance it?" And that's like, come on, really?
So
Star Resort
you-
didn't have want people.
if you
coming.
get a place like Cuba that
Yeah.
I was at earlier this year, and they give you bottled water, right?
Right,
What do they do with all their fucking plastic? Because they go through thousands of people a week, right? If not tens or hundreds of thousands of people a week.
well, they so on
And everybody has a couple liters of water a day. That's going to be a
Well-
lot of plastic in that area.
right. So what they do is there's a couple of things. They use a lot of plastic cups, so the water's fine as long as you're not drinking it from the tap. So if you get it from the bars or anything like that, it's fine. So you're drinking like open-faced drinks all day long, and so there's that. But then the bottled water, which you know you can get, it's all recycled, right? So when they're done with it, it goes off to a recycling plant. So it's pretty amazing. Like I wonder,
Well,
like
it's
when you ask
how much though, like how much really gets recycled though, man? I wonder. It's like hours. I can't remember who did a study. Somebody they put a tracker in 3 different recycling companies in Ontario,
yeah,
and they followed each tracker,
right,
and none of them actually made it to a recycling plant.
yeah. I mean, I can
They either got
that.
burnt or fucking put in landfill.
Well, here's what I find strange is that you know, people
And just so you know, that was Miller, that was GFS, and a blue and white company that I can't remember who it is.
allegedly, but I mean, even the local dump and stuff like that, they you know, they have quote recycling programs. They also have these kind of general dumping grounds where you know you back up trail up and anything goes. Now you're supposed to be socially responsible and you know separate your garbage and everything, but that's a great question. Like what happens with it? We see the I know with our plant out here, or one of them out here, I know with boxes they recycle. I'm not really sure what happens with anything else, right?
Well, I've bought compost, right?
Mhm.
And it's got lots of plastic in it,
Yeah,
right?
depends who's buying it, right? Like it's
That's right.
it's all money. It's all a money game here. If the
Yeah,
states
buying
are
and
buying it,
processing
they'll
it.
ship it down there.
Yeah,
Mm.
You can do it.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh.
it was pretty amazing. But the question you asked about, like, the how are the people there? How are the there's a lot of smiling faces, but the guide basically said that's because they're under constant sunlight. There's serotonin that is natural from the sun and everything else, and basically people are happy. And I guess
Yep.
you only know what you know. So these areas that are appear to be let's say maybe slum is a harsh word, but let's say in some of the neighborhoods, it's
Oh,
really
whoa. Sorry. Do you hear that?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I guess you haven't heard that tonight, right? Cheers.
no, we missed it.
Is that an all drink?
Hey, what's in that orange juice, Rob?
That is pineapple juice, straight up.
Oh, is it pineapple?
Straight
I
up,
love
no
pineapple
rum.
juice.
Yeah, love it.
I'll say one thing about the resort. They definitely don't skimp out on alcohol. I mean, they would
Oh.
fill it up 95% alcohol, and they put a splash in for color.
Yeah.
And that was
Don't
great.
waste the sugar.
Well, yeah. I mean, for me being diabetic, then it.
No, the alcohol is dirt cheap. They make it right there, but everything else, the Coke and the pop and whatever, they got to import it. So
Yeah, got to get it from the Mexican or the Americans.
Well, it's a lot more advanced now. It's not like they have, they have
It's really Americanized.
Yeah, they've got Coke fountains, and they no ginger ale.
Yeah, they got Coke fountains. Hey, come in the back room, white boy. Come with me. So, have you ever gone like walking around Mexico?
Yep.
Like off the resort?
Yeah.
No, I haven't gone on an unguided tour.
So I stayed at Grand Baha'i Principe, I think it's called.
Oh, yeah, in Mexico.
Yeah,
I've stayed a few of those in different places.
Yeah. And I took the bus, they call it, but it's really a fucking van,
Yep.
right? Like an Astro van. And that was the bus, and I took it into Playa del Carmen. So that was like, It took about 40 minutes to get there.
Yeah.
And I was literally like the only person who spoke English besides the fucking the taxi driver, right? Mm-hmm. Or the whatever, the fucking van driver. And we get near the end, and I'm like, I'm looking for shopping, and he's like, Cuatro, and I'm like, 4th Street. Oh, I think that's what it is. He's like, you go straight, turn. Okay. Get out, walk, and all of a sudden you go to the spot and it's all shops and shit, right?
Yeah.
So it was kind of neat, but I had no problem, man, except for like, hey, white boy, come in here with me. Why don't you come in here? And
No. I had a
my friend had an apartment there, and he rented it out for photo shoots and stuff.
Right.
So I go up and I meet him. I'm like, hey, Kevin, how's it going? He's like, hey, come on in, man. And I go there, and there's like some guy taking a picture of models on his deck and stuff, right? He's like, we'll just go upstairs outside by the hot tub. And we shot the shit for a bit. Well, there's a photo shoot with like models on the next floor down. It was neat.
I went to Lake Chapala, which is in the interior of Mexico. My aunt and uncle live in Ajijic, spelled Ajaic, Ajijic, and they moved down there about 20 years ago, and they got a little spot in a little town, and it's quite peaceful actually. Although my uncle's kind of funny because he I remember him saying before I went down, I said, like, how is it down there? Like, is it rough? Is there a lot of gangs and stuff? And he goes, no, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Like, it's not so bad. Oh, except in the town next to us, they beheaded the mayor and left his body in the street for 3 days. But that didn't bother anybody. Like, this was a few years ago.
Yeah,
he deserved it.
Yeah, there's definitely that sort of kind of menacing backdrop. Somebody had mentioned something. Actually, I forget what I was asking for. It had nothing to do with drugs or weed or anything. But I made some kind of a gesture, and I guess he thought I might have been talking about weed. And he goes, "No, I get my hands chopped off for that."
Yeah.
So
yeah, they're pretty strict. It's like, and like, what they say is like, if you're not in the drug trade or whatever, if you're not messing around and the gangs aren't threatened by you taking over their territory, they'll leave you alone. They don't want any trouble. They just leave you alone.
Yeah.
But
no, and a lot of them own hotels and all of that stuff. I mean, that's and they're not,
they run the tourism.
Right?
I noticed a different tone with hey, where are you from? Are you from the USA? And no, I'm Canadian. And all of a sudden the whole composure changes. They seem to be much more friendly, but for good reason. I mean, this idiotic thing, and we try and avoid politics, Rob, but I couldn't resist. I was watching I think there were 52 channels on TV, and none of them were in English except the Playboy channel and the Penthouse channel, but it was broken English. With moaning and everything else going on, but there were some like Fox TV channels that were in English, and so I was watching this one over and over, and they were talking about Biden and how he's really going batshit crazy now, and his son
upstairs.
His son's in the news right now because of tax evasion and all kinds of crazy stuff, right? So anyway, they're looking to maybe impeach and all of this crazy stuff. So, but
they're always looking to impeach, and they're looking to do this, and they're starting a war, and
all of a sudden they're going to these clips over.
Hey, now have you guys heard about the latest Pentagon leak?
Well, hang on, hold that thought, because there's a bunch of so Trump comes back on and they start showing clips of the wall, which now is in certain areas, a bunch of sea containers that are piled up, to build a physical wall between USA and Mexico. And I'm thinking, this is just crazy. Yet in Mexico, there are a lot of Americans in Mexico partying it up and everything else. And it's like, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. First of all, if you're going to build a wall and to contain a population, why would you allow I'm not even sure what to call USA in regards to all of that. I think it's horrible. Now, should you be border jumping? No, probably not. Yeah.
So what do you think the drug problem is? Obviously, it hasn't fucking going to and trying to get all these fucking people and putting people in jail isn't working, right?
No.
This flooding the market with drugs isn't stopping the drugs.
No, and a wall's not going to do anything.
All a wall's going to do is just make it, hey, you got to enter through this point of entry now. So now you have to go through the port.
Path of least resistance, wherever that is. And a wall is just not going to contain it, right? When I watch people go through, like, it's interesting, like on the Mexican border side of the border, they use the same technology we have here in Canada in terms of scanning and everything else, right? They're right up to par on that. So it would be very difficult for there's Murph. It would be very difficult for anyone to sort of mule something into Mexico or vice versa, right? So, but drugs come in, right? Drugs come in. I mean, I don't know
Well, hey, the best way to stop drugs to coming into the United States
is to stop talking about it.
Not even stop talking about it. No, yeah, it's simple. It's very simple. It's supply and demand.
Yeah,
you stop the demand for it.
Yeah.
You stop your people from being sick, and they are not going to want drugs.
Right. Well, I mean, now you've got countries that have opened up like well beyond weed, right? Weed in Canada now is so accessible that it's not.
It's everywhere, right?
Yeah,
now mushrooms are pretty much. You go out fucking west and you can get anything. You can walk into a store and buy fucking. I think you can get like 3 grams of heroin, 3 grams of crack, 3 grams of coke, whatever you right. Like you can just buy it right now in the stores.
Yeah, well, I mean, not legally, but there are countries that.
Yeah, no. In BC, you can now.
Oh, in BC? Oh,
yeah.
I'm there quite a bit. I haven't. I haven't really experienced any of like.
Go to Hastings.
Yeah, I'm nowhere near that, but apparently the countries who have done it have less of an issue. Obviously, they're not incarcerating a lot of people.
Murph, okay, sorry. Murph, no, you are wrong. If you show me one drug dealer who would lace fucking weed with anything, Murph. Do you know how fucking cheap weed is? Yeah. Nobody's gonna waste the time to fucking throw fentanyl.
No, but it's honestly like
back in the 80s, man.
Yeah, but the other thing too, it's kind of like when you talk about things like the cartel and it's in nobody's dealers are sales guys, right? I mean, salespeople, they're not gonna want to mess with their customers at the end of the day, right? So it's a trade all on its own.
Customers.
Yeah, and you know what? It's like everything else out there. It's age old. It's been there since probably time began, and since there ever was anything like a drug.
I honestly think that the like with today's technology and so much money, and like there's so much, like billions and trillions of dollars going on, and so much surveillance that honestly, like the whole drug trade and everything like this, and the secrecy of it is being perpetuated by basically the prison system, where it's like they want people to fill up those prisons. Those prisons are a business now in the States.
Money.
And like it's huge money. And like, like since the last bunch of presidents, the prison population has like doubled and tripled. Like it's gone up like crazy. And these places, they have workforces and stuff, and they have free labor with the inmates and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and they just keep
30 cents an hour.
Yeah, to keep them in there. Like it's like if they don't have a war to send them to, they send them to prison, right? Like, and it's just, and really, like, I mean, the drug use, I think, is just a symptom of the sick society. Really, like it's like
100%.
Like there's so many people in positions where they can never get out of it. They'll never get out of it. They can work 3 jobs. They can work 24 hours a day. They'll still never get out of the hole they're in. Like because society wants to keep them down. Right, and then get them into prison, right? Like, or in the army. It's one or the other, basically. Like, so it's a deep-rooted thing, I think, and it's not like the drug cartels and stuff and all of that. They're allowed to, have their market and whatever because it keeps it going.
Well, an interesting perspective.
Let me just, Murph. And you are right. It does happen. You're also talking Edmonton. Edmonton's fucked. We all know that. So, yes. Generally, it does not happen. For it's like this year somebody found razor blades in candy from Scarborough. Yes, it does happen, but generally people do not lace drugs with other things knowingly. And don't get me wrong, there was a while for about fucking 5 years there where people were just dying when fentanyl was being put in everything, but now people actually look for fentanyl itself to do.
Yeah, it's like guns don't kill people. People kill people with guns, right? Whether it's guns or a razor blade and an apple, or
heroin in a needle, fuck whatever.
Fentanyl yeah, exactly. I mean, people are going to do stupid shit no matter what. Unfortunately, that's the anomaly, right?
And the thing is, like when I became an addict, right, I went in to every drug that I did, knowing. I was the type of guy like, fuck, oh, look at this guy. He's a fucking idiot. Look at him. He's all whacked out, right? I went into every drug knowing that I could be addicted to it, but I was like, I'm not going to be. I won't be that guy, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden one day you are, and you're like, fuck. How did this happen?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Derek, all of that in the past.
I did.
Yeah, but I find
you don't ask to be it. You may ask to try, but you don't ask to go, oh my God, now I can't fucking stop doing
it. But you've obviously, turned all of that around. You're to me, like you're always posting stuff, activities that you're doing with your kids, and just in general, it's like, dude, I can't keep up with that. So I mean, it all worked out, but yeah, for many it doesn't, and they wind up getting worse or dead, or whatever. But it's pretty nasty. But anyway, I'd like to switch gears for a second. Yeah,
sure.
It's a derailer.
I'm the derailer. Yeah. So speaking of conspiracy theories, I just watched a movie on Netflix, and it's fictional, but it was pretty cool. And it's I think it was Leave the Earth Behind or something like that, or Leave the World Behind.
Oh, we just watched that 2 nights ago.
Yeah. So Ethan Hawke's in it, and Julia Roberts, and it was such a cool show. I was pretty engaged in it, and
Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, and Kevin Bacon was in it. He had almost like a cameo, but the whole premise was super cool. What happened was this sort of global meltdown with technology, and it was like this sort of staged attack on, I guess, the Earth, or maybe just the USA. We're never really told the backstory, but it was a planned event, and towards the end, the I guess the attackers are never truly revealed. But Kevin Bacon, in fact, says, "Hey, we've pissed off a lot of different countries, so maybe they band together to go after the U.S." So, but it was quite interesting. There was this sort of backdrop about survivalists versus people who do nothing but glue themselves to technology to the point where they're absolute failures. And Ethan Hawke is kind of one of those guys. Without his phone, without his technology, he doesn't know how to do anything, right?
Like Batman.
Yeah.
Did you happen to see who the producers of that movie were?
No. Who was it?
Barack and Michelle Obama.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of conspiracy theories, now,
oh wow, that's super cool.
Now is Barack Obama really is Michelle a tranny?
Is Michelle
no
what?
idea. I know.
Is Michelle Obama really Michael Obama? Or really Michael? There are so many people, right down to they look at her shoulders, look at her hands. There's pictures where you see her wearing a tight dress, and I guess her mangina kind of might have slipped out.
Jesus.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
You gotta check it out. And by the way,
Derek, here's the thing, and you should know it best. I mean, do we really care? I mean,
yeah, I do because
well,
like
out of pure, interest.
pure curiosity.
Yeah, but
Do I care? Do I care if somebody is wearing a dress and is hiding a penis? No, I don't.
No, but I've met a few people recently that they identify with whatever I won't not even a gender identification, but just orientation and just
I'm non-binary.
yeah, I guess maybe, but and I met some people in Mexico, right?
Yep.
But immediately I just hey, there's some
Shout out to my Mexican gays. You are some of the best straight up partiers who are like,
yeah,
I am
100%. So but no, super cool people, and it doesn't, it really didn't phase me one way or another. Again, it's like if you're what goes on behind doors is that's
I
between,
honestly think in today's world,
none of your business.
people
yeah,
just
exactly.
throw stuff out there just because they can, like
Yeah.
about Michelle Obama, like you're saying, like I guess it's a reason I stay out of the mainstream.
Well, see, this goes back all the way to like college.
Yeah.
Right? Because he had a friend, Michael, who looks very similar to Michelle.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right?
I think I honestly, I don't even like, to me, if my opinion would be no, I think I definitely don't see those types of
By the way, here is the new search that I use.
What is it?
DuckDuckGo rather than using your Google search.
Yeah, I heard about that actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
And where does it take
Yeah, it's kind of neat. It doesn't track anything. It's yeah. There's no algorithms on you.
You use
kind of neat.
More. Yeah, okay.
DuckDuckGo. Eh?
Yeah.
But like Google and I guess Facebook, whatever. It's always your phone's always listening. 100%.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Recently I've been mentioning a few things and all of a sudden they pop up on my phone, on Amazon, all kinds of crazy stuff, which isn't new. I mean, that's been happening for a while, but yeah, so I thought that movie was brilliant. I didn't know about the producers. I think that is super cool.
Did you like
Barack as the president? I thought he was awesome.
Did you like the scene with the self-driving cars?
Yes, that was a little
that was eerie, eh?
It was very eerie. Good choice of words right there. And you know what? I am a super fan of Elon Musk, but I know he's not for everybody. Yeah, okay. But yeah, but I am a super fan, and because he's really advanced technology so quickly, right?
Yeah.
I'm also very intrigued on all of the neuro research he's been doing in the background, and they're into human testing phase and everything else. So that having knowing people that have disabilities and things like that. I mean, if they can get the motor skills functioning and there's hope for these people, that would be super awesome. The other thing is he unveiled a robot earlier this year that he was going to make available to just the general public for about $20,000 US. But he was so hot to get this out, he was only able to show the upper torso and had the rest on a stand. But it was pretty impressive. I mean, the AI technology and robotics have come such pretty advanced. And again, I think they're if you've ever had to be a caregiver for anyone, it's not an easy task. And if robots can be used for Derek, just put the phone down.
Okay.
If you could shed some of the tasks from a caregiver to a robot, it would be amazing, right? Because I mean, it's not an easy job. There are a lot of mundane sort of tasks that happen out there that I can't have this conversation anymore.
You're killing us, there.
Not a distraction. Wait, see, I can't even mute him because he'll just unmute himself. I gave him control one day, which was.
Oh, you can mute me. I haven't said a fucking word. I have not said one
No, you
word.
haven't. Your technology says it all. But yeah, that was a pretty amazing scene where all the Teslas kind of just wham,
Yeah.
fully autonomous, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
But you know, I would have thought there would have been a lot more aerial, you know, like satellites falling out of orbit and everything else. But anyway, regardless of the show, I'd give that a 5 out of 5. Just really well done. Julia Roberts, just honestly annoyed me through that whole thing. She's a
But that was her
brilliant
character. That was her character.
It was
And
her
she-
character.
I thought
but-
she played it well. She played
no,
it
she
well.
did 100%. She's great as an actress or actor or whatever they like to call themselves these days. But
Aren't they all like on strike still?
yep, it's not over yet. So
Yeah.
but yeah, she was great. Just annoying
I
as-
feel sorry for all the people that I know who are on strike right now.
But
It
I've
sucks.
lately I've admired in movies how actors and actresses or whatever, they take on a difficult role like that where they have to be
Yeah.
somebody like that is just annoying to the point of you just want to throw something at the TV, like, and they do it so well that, man, you did a good job. Like I
Yeah.
understand that was your
Well,
character.
and I've never seen Ethan Hawke in a pussy role, and
Yeah.
that one there, he did a great job. I
Yeah.
thought he was going to stand up and be, but then when he got in front of
Kevin Bacon,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
But some of that reminds me of, or I can relate to, right? I'd be the Kevin Bacon on the step with the shotgun. And I'm a bit of a prepper. I've got friends who are in, but the rule is that, you know what, if there's the haves and the have-nots when stuff happens like that, and we are so immersed in technology, and I feel bad for a lot of young people that, especially teens to probably mid to even later 20s, right, where they're so wrapped in technology, they're sitting in a room at a party with friends and texting themselves, right?
Yeah.
So the communication's gone, and when when stuff like that happens, or a catastrophic event, the first thing to go are use of technology, and you have to be prepared. You have to know how to do basic some of the basic survival skills, like finding water, finding making fire, all of that stuff, which is it's not hard to do unless you don't know how to do it at all, right?
Yeah.
So always go camping with your kids.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, here's one for survival that people might be a bit grossed out of. But if you had something like a sandwich bag, so you got your lunch for the day, let's say, and you've got a little sandwich bag in it, and then all of a sudden, zombie apocalypse happens or something, and you've got to create your own fire. Well, if there's no water source nearby, you can pee in that sandwich bag, and in the daylight, take that, use it like a magnifying glass to ignite, some dry material. There's all kinds of ways to build a fire. And I love watching the reels, whether it's TikTok or Facebook or whatever, about these survivalists. And there's one guy who just, he goes out with nothing and comes out thriving. And those are brilliant. But you know what? Will he ever have to use those skills? I think maybe someday he may have to, right? If you look at the society and could there be a breakdown? Hell yeah. You know, could there
the
be
way
a
things have
civil
been
war?
going.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And you know what? This movie that Rob and I were talking about while Derek was kind of admiring pictures.
Checking
The
out the package.
yeah, at the end of the day, the last phase of this disruptive or attack was getting society to the point where there'd be civil unrest, and the last phase would be that the
They just do themselves in.
yeah, absolutely, they wouldn't, they, you know, you lose the basis of trust.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, you know, the needs get greater. And I thought the ending was absolutely brilliant, where the
Yeah.
daughter is, you know, sitting in a bunker that I would like, wow, give my eye teeth for. It was like
Yeah.
a beautiful bunker. She's
Yeah.
sitting there watching the last episode of Friends. So,
I know.
but
Yeah, they talk about good. That was good.
Friends. So that's a show I never got into. That and that one with that comedy guy, Seinfeld.
yeah,
Those are just shows I never got into. Now,
yeah,
now something I could get into was Night Court. I don't know if you remember that from back in the day.
I remember Night Court. Yeah.
I remember it as well.
I had like 3 channels and 7 when it was a clear winter day.
So it was more of a WKRP in Cincinnati kind of guy.
Yeah,
I didn't get it.
And
WKRP, no?
yeah, you remember WKRP?
I loved it. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I got
Johnny
Golden
Fever,
Girls, Perry
Johnny
Mason.
Fever, Venus Flytrap, and Barney Miller. Barney Miller.
Barney Miller, yeah.
Doom, doo, 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 doo. Still the best bass line in any opening theme.
Yeah. I've seen some bands that open with that when they come out. They
Nice.
start that. It's cool.
Well, speaking of bands, Rob, how's everything going in Ghost Town? I haven't been there for a while. I've been playing fucking Fridays and
Yeah, no, it's fabulous. We've had a different crowd like every week now for the I don't know, like the last 5 weeks. It's different people every week, and people out of the woodwork like that. You know, I've known for years, and you know, it's like their first time coming out. And you know, Brad Harrington, who plays the keyboards, comes up sometime. So his buddy Pierre was coming out, and he called Brad last minute and said, "Why don't you come down?" So Brad came down and shows up, and he goes, "Oh, I didn't bring my keyboards." I'm like, "Well, why not?" And he goes, "I didn't think there'd be room for me because like I was getting here later." And I said, "Oh, we'd always make room." So then we start playing, and he goes over and sits on the drum kit and plays for like 3-4 hours on the drum kit. I never even knew he could play drums, but man, the guy's got great rhythm. And he says to me when he's leaving, "Well, Derek didn't show up, so I thought I'd get on there and give it a shot."
So, Rob, are you guys set up inside now? Because of the weather?
Yeah. We go year round inside, and then back outside in the summer for a few weeks. And,
yeah. Well, you have that stage outside, right?
Yeah.
You've
been up to that. And
I you know what, I got to come up there again because I'm kind of in between things. I've been, you know, I was jamming with a band, and it you know, great players and everything, but we couldn't really agree on a jam schedule. So we got through pretty much 3 sets, and then it fizzled because of, you know, life happens. But and then my band Motor City has been on a hiatus since COVID, and we've been talking about getting back together. But anyway, I'm doing a lot of traveling as well, so you know, your gig kind of works out really well to just go in, and because honestly I've been selling out and doing a lot of karaoke lately. And you
people
know,
love that.
Well, they do, and it's like, yeah, okay. Did some in Mexico as well, and you know, it's fun. I mean, you get, you know, as a musician, you kind of or vocalist anyway, you get a bit of a charge out of the fact, like, if you do something well and they appreciate it, crowd's a crowd, right? But It's not.
Karaoke and a jam are very much they're cousins of each other, I would say.
Yeah, they're like dirty cousins though. Like, I mean, it's definitely not the same because I like live music, and
Yeah.
it's, it's almost like produced, right? I actually saw Rihanna one time, and I don't know what happened with her band, but it was at Molson where they did backtracks, and she sang, and I thought, man, I feel ripped off, right?
Yeah.
But you could still, it was her voice, but so you know what, it's just I enjoy it, but at the end of the day, I'd prefer performing with a live band, right? So
Yeah, we go every Friday night, and
every
the only
Friday.
one we're canceling is just before New Year's Eve. So
Okay.
that Friday we're canceling because we're having a party New Year's Eve or whatever.
Well, you know
Not
what?
playing.
I'm off next week, and I'm just doing a staycation. So maybe I'll nudge Derek. Derek, you're playing again in January, right? You're off for a bit.
Yeah, I don't play until the 23rd, and then January.
Oh, so you are playing 23rd. Okay.
Yeah.
Of December?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're doing a Krampus Fest.
Very on. Krampus?
Yeah.
What's a Krampus Fest?
Krampus? So Krampus is Santa's right-hand man.
Oh, right. I've heard the name. I was trying to
and he goes and collects all the bad kids.
Right, yeah.
Right. He's
Krampus
like a goat man.
He's got the big goat. Yeah, like the big.
Yeah, and he's got a wicker basket and big tongue and horns, and
hides under your bed.
No. He walks down the street and he beats you and steals you, throws you in his wicker basket.
Oh, okay.
Where's the Kramper Fest? The Kramper Fest.
It's like Austria does it, and Germany and stuff like that. It's a very European type of thing. But we're doing it in Hamilton, I believe.
Oh, perfect place for it.
Yeah.
Butthole of the universe, right?
Well, we used to hold what's called a cramp and snatch. So that's that's the parade.
Yeah.
And that's when you would go out and you'd take people. So we used to, like the House of Haunt used to hold our own thing. They did it like 4 years in a row. Then COVID happened and we haven't done it since. So now we're just like, well, let's do a show. It's after Krampus would have happened like last week or something, right? So we're just gonna do it just before Christmas.
Speaking of parades, my daughter there, she's still playing with her wand that you bought her. She thinks it's the greatest thing in the world. Oh yeah. We had to put some hockey tape on it recently, but it's still
hey, it happens. It happens.
So you bought a wand?
We saw each other at the Santa parade in Sunderland, and and James, my daughter, was there, and there was a cotton candy thing, and they were selling these little flashing wands, and Derek he's like, "Oh, every little princess needs a wand," so you bought her a wand. It was so sweet. Yeah. And my daughter's been playing with it ever since. She's like,
"Oh, I have walking down the road, right? Don't even realize it. I'm like, I see the cotton candy lady on the side of the road, and I'm like, oh, wicked. Okay, she's standing there. She starts moving. I'm like, hey, cotton candy lady. And then I look beside me like, oh, hey, Rob, shit, hey.
Yeah.
So family's good, Rob?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was pretty amazed by like what you guys do. Shannon's your wife?
Yep.
Yeah. I met her. She took me for a tour through your place. But you know what? For the kids to grow up in that environment where you guys are all about music, like what you guys do is friggin' amazing.
Thanks, man.
Just the energy to do that week over week and invite people into your house, and sometimes strangers. That's
they get it.
They totally get it. And they're not necessarily strangers off the street, but it's either people you've met or people who know people, right? Like Derek brought us over, and obviously you want if people are inviting friends, make sure it's like, let me ask you, have you ever had a bad experience or somebody get like way too wasted or do something?
3 that I know of.
Yeah.
That I would say are bad ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
but Rob, go ahead.
Including myself, by the way, including myself. Oops, I got a little too drunk, but no, it was like.
No, there's never.
No,
It's never been anything
You know
that hasn't been able to be handled. You know what I mean?
no,
Yeah.
and it's so rare. Like if you take, we've been doing it almost 7 years every Friday night, so it's like the percentage is 0.00 something, right? Like it's, and I mean, a lot of the times, if somebody doesn't fit the environment, like, if they're using it as like a pickup joint or something, and everybody's like, no, man, it's not like that.
No.
We're playing music here. Just be cool. Like, this isn't like a friggin' singles bar.
No.
It's like,
No.
yeah, it's like they're like, oh, okay. Either they get it or they don't come back. Like it's just like it's not for them. They want to go and hit on people somewhere else. We don't do that here, so it's like,
Yeah, and they make,
it's chill.
usually are smart enough to make the choice.
I would just like to verify, if anybody feels like hitting on me, I will gladly take it.
Yeah.
It makes me feel good.
I'll pinch your bum next time, Derek.
Oh, thanks.
Derek with his wife sitting in the next room.
Well, maybe she will too. You never know.
Oh, there you go. Okay, now I get it. I was trying to figure out that dynamic, but now I got it. I got it. So hey, just a little shift here. So since you guys mentioned wands, I want to show you something. It just kind of triggered.
What if I said docs?
Yeah, maybe I'd do something with that. But hang on a second, boys.
What are you trying to figure out?
No, I'm just I just want to show you guys something real quick. So you mentioned wands, and there's a company in Canada called McCormick Wands. Now this is not your flashy light kind of parade wand. These are actually used for Wicca, and or wizardry, we'll call it, right?
Well, remember we had Ryan on 111.
Yeah,
he made wands.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely a thing.
It is. Yeah,
So they're not. I don't know. I found them to be very affordable, but I bought 3 of them.
And what did they do for you? Just you thought they'd look cool?
Yeah, they look cool. They sit on my.
How long is that?
How long is it?
Correct.
It's about, I would say, well, there's probably dimensions here, but I would say a little over 20, 24 inches. So it's a pretty good, like 23, maybe that's the measurement there. There's another one. But they're awesome, and
14 and 5 and 3/8.
Yeah, there you go. There's 14 incher there. So, but
she hoped
they're all handmade. Some of them have, and I'm not sure how he does it, but different wood kind of weaved together. Let me see if I can find one. There's one called, I think it's a Purple Heart, which I believe I have as well.
That's cool.
Yeah. So this one here is rosewood, Bolivian rosewood. So I mean, he goes to great lengths. So again, when you got something handmade like this, and they, it's imported wood, blah blah blah. $40 to me is nothing. I mean, imagine the time to carve this sucker out. Now, I'm sure he uses some amount of non-hand, like a lathe and stuff like that. I'm not sure exactly what the process is, but yeah, pretty cool. So I was at a shop, and they kind of recommended that was kind of a next level thing I wanted to do, because I mean, I got into reading tarot cards and some stuff like that, and was actually doing practicing with
Fuck, you got your cards there. Why don't you do a reading for Rob? We have
no readings for me. No.
Keep your spirits to yourself, you fuck.
Yeah.
No.
Jinx me, hex me, you bastard.
No,
Yeah.
I appreciate the future being unknown.
Yeah.
I don't need any help.
Oh,
So
it
in
could.
one of the Motor City Maniacs lyrics, she looked behind to read the past. The future told can never last. Right. So I wrote that actually. So it's a lot of our songs when we wrote them all started off with like a riff or a groove or whatever, and I'd have my iPad in hand, and it was the most bizarre thing. Like our drummer Brian one time said to me, he says, "Man, how do you do that?" And I believe that was possibly, like when you're in the right moment, it just comes naturally. And then when I go back and sort of read what I wrote, it actually it makes sense, right? A lot of the lyrics seem to be fairly profound, and there was one song we wrote which was pretty kind of scary, but it it all just kind of flows. So I'm not like into any of that psychic kind of writing out or scrying or any of that stuff, like, but I do the whole tarot card reading and that. I'm not, I don't think I'm advanced, but it's for all of the times that I've done it now, it's quite a lot of times. It's been Derek kind of fairly spot on, right? I think a couple of shows we did, I did maybe 2 or 3 shows where I not only read people on air, but with Heiko, his friend, he wanted to know about, I think it was a property or something that he had, right? And kind of went through some, kind of description of what was going on over there, and he thought it was pretty interesting. We have a guest who shows up a lot who owns a hamburger restaurant up in what area is that? That's like
That's Ballantrae, Ontario.
Ballantrae, yeah.
Country Stop Burger.
Country Stop Burgers. And
Highway 48, south of 47.
Did a reading on him, and he thought that was pretty cool. I like that. We should circle back and ask him if I don't think he's on now, but we should circle back and ask him if any of that ever came to be, as far as, I think it was a venture or something he was looking at. But
I gotta jump in for a second and just I don't know if you're familiar with the Uxbridge area has a new magazine out recently called the Euphoria. Okay. And you were asking about people coming here and strangers or whatever. We had a bunch of people show up recently, like over the last little while, because they read an article about us and stuff in this Euphoria magazine, and I followed. Euphoria stands for like Uxbridge. I wish I could remember, but anyway, it's something to do with the arts and music and stuff like that. And it's just a little magazine that these couple has put out, and they're both musicians themselves, and they come up here. And so yeah, we've had some people just show up out of the blue and just say, "Hey, we read about it," and then we drove on nothing but dirt roads to get to your place. And it's like, wow.
Yeah, I'm not sure I could find it again, honestly. I'd have to definitely meet up with Derek somewhere and kind of get blindfolded and towed in the rest of the way. But going to the Bat Cave, man. Yeah, exactly. No, but anyway, back to what you guys do over there is incredible. Just opening up your house for jamming.
There it is.
Euphoria, cool.
Yeah, it's Uxbridge for something artists.
Yeah.
Neat. And where do we find that, Derek? Is it euphoria.com?
That would be on Facebook, and you can find it at many of the local businesses around the Uxbridge area. Or contact the zine themselves, or Jesse.
Yeah, they actually they're gonna start sending us a bunch of copies of the actual magazine in print that we're gonna like distribute through the town and stuff for people to pick up at coffee shops and stuff. So
Cool.
So Derek, how's that spelled?
That is spelled U as in capital.
Yeah.
FOREA and then zine.
yeah, Euphoria Zine magazine. Zine.
So is Euphoria zine one word or two?
Zine is the second word.
ZINE?
Yeah. It's not euphoria, it's euphor.
So
For
UFO, right. So UFOREA.
Yeah. Zine.
Yeah.
Let's see what comes up. Yeah, here it is.
Should be a.
Okay, so let me share my screen quick here.
Dun 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 dun.
Well, Rob's getting us drinks.
I could maybe talk with Jess and get her to come on one day.
That sounds like that could be cool.
All right. While you have that up, I'll take a picture.
It's called Uxbridge for Everyone Always.
So website
Uxbridge for everyone always.
Yeah.
So
this is the actual magazine here.
Oh yeah, it says it right there underneath. Uxbridge for everyone always.
nice.
A zine for local music, art, and more.
Yeah.
Oh, you took it down right as I was reading it.
Oh,
so they
sorry.
they do upcoming events and stuff. This is it here, and this is the actual little magazine.
So you're in that one, and I'm in the one after that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, this is the one we're in. Yeah, they did like a 2-page spread on this. So
Yeah.
pretty cool. A lot of people read it. And, yeah.
That's very, very cool.
Yeah,
here,
I got upcoming events.
I do have an image here, so I guess this is their Facebook.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's been pretty cool.
Yeah.
Getting it out there.
Yeah.
They do a lot of open mic scenes and stuff, like where they go around to different ones.
Her place right now with a lot of the music seems to be at the Second Wedge.
Oh yeah.
Either that or down at Wixon's.
Yeah, Wixon's Bridge basement. Probably basement bar, right? Or something.
Yeah. That's where we just played.
Nice. Upcoming events. Euphoria Zine presents. Huh. Nice. No, this is great.
Yeah.
So they do a paper version of it. So I guess they must have some kind of sponsorship to be able to.
Well,
no, she does it herself.
Oh, it's.
It's free, but you can pay to advertise in it, right? So,
yeah.
So if you're gonna run like it says advertise with us, and there's prices and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's how a magazine starts off, right? I mean it just you gotta put the work into it, and I'm trying to think. What's that one that came out of Toronto that was pretty popular? It's still around.
What, like Now magazine?
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking it. It's very good if you're a liberal.
Well, exactly. It's now like it used to be. I don't know.
It used to be open to everybody.
It's almost like a band that sold out.
That was the first place I found out about rubbing tugs.
Okay.
Oh, come on. That was in the Sun.
Okay, so let me tell you a story about this. Okay, so I go out with my Italian buddy, right? And this guy, okay, so this is at a time of my life just before I had my daughter, and the guys that I was hanging around we were a bunch of fucking pricks, but we were fun. Okay, like just the guys that I don't know if you ever worked at a place where you had like a lot of people, but there's a group of you who like really just connected, right? You're all like potheads and drinkers and shit like that, right? And we all played. Like we used to have to wear gloves. So you take your gloves off and you'd throw it at somebody, you know, like freaking 30 feet away and smack him in the side of the head and stuff. You know what I mean? The guy in the tow motor would get off. So you'd put a little bit of water on his seat. So as soon as he sat down, his fucking ass would be wet. You know, like just little things, right?
Sure.
I forget where I was going with that. But
yeah, I used to do stupid shit and pranks on people that were.
It's good to have that.
Well, you were talking about finding the rub and tugs in the Now magazine. I said to have them in the sun.
Oh, right. Okay, that's where I was going with that. Okay, so yeah. So anyway, so this guy Frank, he's like, hey, my cousin's coming. He's from a little island just off of Sicily, and he's never been to Canada. Like he's never left Italy, right?
Yep. And
I'm like, okay. And he's like, let's take him out. I'm like, all right. So he's like, his cousin gets there and he's like, hey, I want to see prostitutes. I want to see hookers, and I want to drink, and I want to party. And so my buddy Frank's like, hey, go to the store and get me a Now magazine. So I went into an Esso or something, right? And I come out with a Now magazine. Frank flips through the back of this thing, and he's like, oh, perfect. Found it. Goes inside, makes a phone call, because that was like cell phones were very fucking far and few between. Makes a phone call, and he's like, goes to his cousin. He goes, hey, I got you a hooker. All you have to do is go up the stairs. You go into this room. She'll take care of you. Everything will be fine. So, all right. This is cool. I'm like, fuck, this is awesome. Like, fuck, Frank, you're, hanging out with you is kind of cool. You're buying your cousin hookers and shit. So he gives us his cousin some money, whatever it was. It was $150 or something, right? So his cousin goes upstairs, and we're sitting there, and I'm like, what'd you do? And he's like, oh, just wait. Right? So not 5 minutes later, his cousin comes downstairs, and he's holding he's gonna throw up, right? He comes up, what's wrong? And he's like, I don't know what happened, but I go up, I give the girl the money. She puts me in a chair, she sits me down, she pulls my pants down. She starts to suck on my dick. So I go to feel her, and she's got dingleberries. He got her a guy. Or got him a guy. So yeah, he's like, wow. He goes, I didn't know what to do, so I just came downstairs, and yeah, that was it. That's my story. That was my buddy Frank for you.
Your buddy was a prick.
Yeah. Fucking.
Jesus.
His cousin will never forget that.
Nope. I don't like Canada anymore.
I want to go home. Yeah, that was Frank.
Man, oh man.
He was a funny guy though. Like, okay, so he comes to work one day and he's like, "Hey man, do you want to buy some Windex?" And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, I'll sell you like a case of Windex for like $50. I'm like, a case of Windex? He goes, yeah, a case of Windex for $50. Like, what the fuck do I want a case of Windex for? So he opens up the trunk of his car, and this case is like 12 bottles of Windex. It's like, yeah, $50, man. I'm like, no way, man. I said, I wouldn't give you more than fucking 30 for that. Okay, I'll take 30. So he takes 30, and I get 12 bottles of this Windex.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wicked. My dad's like, where'd you get that? I said, my buddy from work. He goes, can you get more? I said, yeah. I'm like, okay. So anyways, long story short, I ended up buying like fucking 3 more of these boxes of them, right?
Jesus.
So Frank's like, hey, great guy. I'm telling you, funniest guy in the world, though. You get hilarious. And 2 weeks later, Frank comes up to me and goes, hey, what, you bought any paper towels? And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, I know you got lots of Windex. You need paper towels now.
Yeah. Supply and demand.
Yeah. So he's I go to my dad again. I'm like, hey, my buddy Frank has got paper towels. He goes, okay, see if he's got a box of them, right? The big boxes. Like, yeah, okay. So Frank, you got a big box? Oh yeah, for sure. How many do you want? Right? I'm like, fuck man, I'll just take a box. So he sends me a box, put it in the back of the truck, fucking take it to my dad's shop at the time. It's awesome. He always had something for sale, but whatever he did, like he's like, I always try and compliment. You got to have one thing and it goes with the other. So then you get repeat customers. Fuck. You just think of this shit, eh?
Making it work.
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds like very orchestrated, stuff falling off a truck and wholesaling it. But speaking of which, like I love watching those like Pawn Stars and stuff like that. But Liquidators in Canada. That was
Liquidator?
The Liquidator, yeah. He's pretty cool. I mean, I wonder how he gets repeat customers, or not customers, but people he buys from, and then, kind of does a deal, makes his money, and then talks about it after, right? But yeah, he's quite the wheeler dealer, that guy. I mean, he'll sell a truckload of stuff and never have to touch anything because he, before it gets unloaded, he's sold it to somebody else.
Yeah. No, that's a good deal.
Yeah, so like he buys low, sells high, which is a famous rule for making money if you're selling goods, right? And or buying and selling. But what he also does is like, hey, you know what? Keep your inventory low, and just if you can, sacrifice a few bucks to sell it and never have to put your hands on it. Oh my gosh, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
The guy's an interesting character.
Anytime that you can sell something, not house the product, you're doing great.
Yep.
Middleman.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Middleman wins. Yeah. So, that being said, we got about 6 minutes left, boys.
Yeah.
Holy shit! So what are you trying to say? Like you're trying to rush us here? Get the fuck off, man.
Enough time to eat, play a 2 minute song.
Oh, I would just like to address something, just in case if anybody out there in Heikadelic.
What's that? I missed what you said there.
I don't know. You just wanted to talk over me, so fuck.
You're both talking.
Oh, sorry. There's a delay.
Oh. Okay.
Go ahead, Ringo.
Go. One of you.
Rob's got to get up early in the morning. His job starts at
I'm fine.
7 a.m. Oh, you're good?
5:30.
5:30? Oh, do you?
Yeah. I'm out the door at 5 tomorrow. So, and so are you, Derek. What the heck do you want to stay on late for?
I'm not at the door at 5. I'm at Christmas. I actually just took 3 days off, so I get 10 days off.
Oh, so you're off. So you could technically stay on all night long.
I'm not off. I'm not off yet. I'm not off until let me get the date here. I am off. I think the 22nd is my last day.
Oh, good for you.
And then I'm off until the new year because I still had 6 days fucking vacation left, and my boss is like, Derek, just so you know, you got 6 days vacation left. And I said, yeah. Well, you got to take them before the new year.
Your boss said that to you?
Yeah.
You have a boss?
I do. Okay.
Don't you live with your boss?
She's upstairs right now.
Exactly. You made that sound.
Well, that's 2 out of 3 of us.
Yeah. Yep.
What do you call a ghost town? I'm looking something up here.
What do you call a ghost town? A ghost town. It's literally called a ghost town.
A ghost town is a town that used to have business in it, and then all that business is gone, but the houses still remain or whatever. There's people still there usually.
Yes.
So back in the 1800s, Vroomington was a bustling little town with motels,
mills.
hotels, a couple of mills, a school, like
Motel.
manufacturing, blacksmith, everything. And then Sunderland got the railway, so Vroomington just kind of died out.
And isn't that funny? Because what is it? 3 kilometers away, 4 kilometers away?
Yeah.
And it wiped the whole town out.
Well, I mean, all the business basically would have moved there, right? Like for transportation purposes and whatever, I guess. So,
Yeah.
well, I mean, a 5-minute drive is an hour walk, so
That's right.
yeah,
You know, it's true. You got to look at it that way too, right?
yeah.
Huh.
But I mean, there's still remnants of the old places. Like my house was originally a 2-room farmhouse that was built in 1870. So
that's my house is 1894 or something. So yeah, yours is I'm glad that I'm not the only one with an 18 house. Because mine's literally my kitchen, right? It would have been the same. It would have been a two-room farmhouse.
Yeah, it's amazing. But they had to keep the heat in, right? Keep it small.
Yeah.
That's a big
My
problem.
my walls are stupidly thick.
Oh yeah, mine too.
Love it.
I'm just working on my boys' room right now. I'm getting walls up in it.
Yeah,
I decided to go with 3/8 plywood instead of drywall.
yeah.
I'm getting started. I hate drywall.
Me too. Well, I guess we should pack it up.
All right.
And seeing that this is the part where Heiko would normally say, hey, everybody, I'd like to thank everybody. I just want to give a big shout out to Kathy and Murph, because they actually talked to us tonight.
Yeah, there were a few people on, and they were pretty quiet for some odd reason.
Yeah, you want to know something? Maybe they're just listening to us. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I do that a lot. I just listen to.
It's not like we could get a word in edgewise with Derek's, phone in the background and distracting kind of photos.
Oh yeah,
Alleged
here we go.
Things
Well,
going on.
it was a change of pace for me tonight. Thank you. It was a pleasure being.
Yeah. We just kind of, we don't really follow a script.
No.
And really though, Rob, thank you for coming. That was awesome for you to come on short notice.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, appreciate you asking.
Yeah, Heiko will be back next week, and George couldn't make it tonight either. So we didn't do the backside. We should have maybe attempted it ourselves, but I've got no.
That's okay. We don't whatever.
Yeah.
No point in dwelling in the past, which it's already done. All right. Well, on that note, I'm gonna hit the fucking the button.
Wait,
Have a good night.
And thank you, Rob, again for coming.
Appreciate it.
Well, we'll see you soon. We'll have to head up to Vroomington.
Yeah, come jam.
We'll head out.
All right.
we need to. Do we need to have our Mr. Chin balls come out, or cheek balls?
Fuck that.
Well, it's that time. The show is about to end. So
Yeah, he is kind of creepy. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, that's another wrap for the Heikadelic Show, folks, so time to get dirty. And don't forget, listen in next week on Monday night and every Monday after that for the Heikadelic Show at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. If you'd like more information on the Heikadelic Show, please find us at www.theheikedelicshow.com or .ca. We'll see you all next week on the Heikadelic Show. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor for the Heikadelic Show, it's easy. Just send us an email at info@theheikedelicshow.com. Meanwhile, you can browse our website at www.theheikedelicshow.com or .ca. Click on our sponsor tab and find out more information on sponsorships. Thanks for joining the Heikadelic Show family.
Hey, I just want you.
Are we on or off?
We're on.
Hey,
I
we're
just
still
want
on
you to
air.
know that you're awesome and don't be a dick.
All right.